Hey, Andrea.
Hey, Tim.
We're back.
We are. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Yeah.
What you been up to?
Oh, a couple things that I videoed that you still haven't made videos out of, but
Like what?
my bicycle.
I didn't see it. I was looking for it today.
Okay.
But anyway, we're doing a video today.
We are.
We're going to talk about, what are we talking about?
I don't know.
things to be aware of, or
Yeah, kind of.
like
It's
to prepare yourself before you move into Sun City.
yeah,
Things to be
just to think about.
take in consideration, if you will.
Yeah. You know, like people.
Yeah. People.
People.
But yeah, I mean, I think we have some pretty good sound advice here if you're looking to move into this ever expanding community,
Ever expanding community.
which is one of our pieces of advice. So stay tuned.
Yes. It'll be fascinating.
Fascinating conversation about to happen.
Hello again.
Hey, we're back
Welcome
to
to
our
our
dining nook area,
breakfast nook.
breakfast nook.
Whatever the heck it's called.
It's where we dine, though. We don't breakfast much here.
No, we don't breakfast much.
So,
Nor do we brunch.
number one on our list.
Is it really number one?
Yeah.
These are in no
Oh, yeah, no
order
order,
of.
like-
It's
Like
just
most important to least important.
stuff that pops into our heads. If you've been around long enough, you understand how
Things
this
pop into our
works.
heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
So the first one is the amenities here at Sun City.
yes. So think about, like, if you're planning on moving here, think about what you like to do.
Hobbies,
Hobbies,
games,
crafts,
sports, things that you're into.
all that kind of stuff.
I,
Because there's a lot of community. I mean, there's several communities down here, and it's obviously Sun City is the largest one here.
right.
Well, as far as I know.
I believe it is.
And there's over 12 billion
There's like
clubs and sports.
there's
and-
150 different clubs and
Yeah.
groups that you can join.
right.
So before you move into Sun City, take a look at that list. It's all
Yeah.
on the website. All the different
Yeah.
groups and activities that are going on. My lovely wife here, for one, is part of the wood shop. She's a wood chick.
I'm a wood chick.
She's a wood chick, and it's
As a
a.
matter of fact,
In fact, there's a piece of
There's
work that she did.
it's a wooden vase. Anyway.
But I play softball. Oh, hey, I happen to be wearing
Oh,
my
you're
son's
wearing your softball shirt.
It's almost like we planned it.
Yeah, right? And we
But
did not.
whatever you're into, if you're into cards like bridge, if you're into billiards, there's a billiards area.
Ping pong, sewing, pottery. I mean,
There's pickleball, there's tennis, there's croquet, bocce. We like to play bocce. You would have seen that in another video as well.
There's singing groups.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff.
So-
So it's something to think about, because also conversely, if you don't like activities or groups like that, this might not be the place for you. You know, if you just want to
Be a veg in your backyard. You could do that.
Which,
You
I
could
mean,
do that.
You could do that here,
but-
but you know.
Yeah. So, but that's
It's just-
it's a lot. It's putting yourself out. Well, that's actually the second one, is putting yourself out there, and looking to have fun is what it's all about. I mean, it's a 55 plus active community. There's no children, unless it's the holidays.
Yeah.
And there's so much to do. You know, meet your neighbors. By joining a club or a group, and put yourself out there, you'll find ways to have fun. So here's a great example. we moved here from Pennsylvania and we knew 0 people, right? So we didn't know anybody. We weren't sure what it's going to be like once we got here, and once we got involved with groups and activities and meeting our neighbors especially, we now have a nice little group of friends that we spend a lot of time with, and we share some interests, and that's.
Who I'm sure you've seen in videos.
Yeah, you've seen them in other videos too. But there you go. Put yourself out there. Check out the amenities. So be prepared.
And again, since I'm the negative Nelly sometimes, if you don't like people, you might not want to move here. I mean, you're super close to your neighbors. You know, their houses are like 10 feet away. There's a lot of people here. You know, right now, because of them building the west side, and there's a ton of houses there. You know, the pools are always packed. The gym is packed. It's, you know, unless you're going at, you know, 8 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock at night, because, you know, we always say the streets roll up at
the sidewalks
7.
roll up at 6. So.
But yeah, again,
well, there's
it's something to think about.
Just be prepared when you get here. So what else? Follow your build.
Yeah.
So
if you're building from scratch.
If you're building from scratch, yes. So we built from scratch. It was a 9-month or so long process. We lived in our RV, which you would have seen in other videos. So we lived here. We were able to come out every week. And some weeks it didn't look like anything got done. And then other weeks it was like, oh, wow, look at that. We have a roof, or all the foundation is laid.
Yeah,
But follow your build. Now that we made it easier on ourselves by living here. If you don't live here, see what you can do.
Yeah, see if you
have
can
a realtor,
find somebody. Realtor, or like our neighborhood had a Facebook page already.
Right.
Going, so join that. And, you know, for example, I would take pictures of one of the neighbors' houses and send them to her.
Right.
So that, you know, she could see what was going on. And, you know, there were a lot of people that did that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
follow along with your build. And then the other associated with that is find a good local home inspector.
Yeah.
So by home inspector, it's somebody that's going to come in and independently check on, are they doing things right? Are they meeting proper code? Is your house going to still be standing here many years
from now? You know, oh, did they forget to put, I don't know, like those things in the attic that they seem to forget to put on a lot of people's houses? These like
right. So what you'll experience, so when you have they kind of stop build and you do an inspection right before they put up the drywall, and then right before you're about to close, you do these inspections. And there are things that aren't going to be quite right before you close, but you can still close, you can still live in the house. And then there are other things that just have to get repaired. And then they do the 1-year warranty repairs, and you're going to find a lot of stuff that needs to get repaired.
I don't think we ever did a video.
Yeah, we have one of those in the hopper, but we haven't gotten it done yet. But a home inspector along the way at each of these points is very important. So follow your build, pay attention to what they're doing. It's not that like they're trying to cut corners or they're trying to rip you off or anything like that, but it's a variety of different, they call them trades that are out here. And the different trades people have different skill levels.
They have different skill levels. There's, the floor people, but the floor people are not necessarily the people who did the foundation. There's the window guy, there's the carpenter, there's the that. I mean, it's...
So, home inspector and follow your build. Oh, and if you need a recommendation on a home inspector, we really like the person that we used. Mm-hmm. So reach out to us in the comments or send us a message and we'll get you the name.
Yep.
Okay, the next topic.
Another topic here is one of my favorites. It's the nature and weather here.
Yes.
Okay, you're moving to South Carolina. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Be aware of how hot it gets in the summer.
Yes.
I mean, because everybody always thinks like, oh, well, it doesn't, get real cold during the winter, or doesn't stay cold for months and weeks like it does up north, which is fine. But, it's going to be hot here.
It gets
You
hot.
know,
It's hot. In fact, it's hot today.
it's hot today.
It's
That's why we're inside.
it's the end of June.
And
We're enjoying the air conditioning.
yeah, and I mean, last week there were a couple days that were simply just.
Yeah.
I mean, they were oppressive. It was 90 degrees, but with the heat index, it was over 100
Yeah.
because the humidity. It was just you walked outside and like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, just, it's again, you're moving here. Be aware of that. And
We've also had 3 winters here.
yeah,
It has gone below freezing for several days.
Yeah.
Every winter. I didn't think that would happen, but it does. It gets
does.
cold. So if you're moving from the north, don't throw away your parka and your toques. Have a good pair of gloves, but hat and gloves, and they're going to stay stored for most of the year. But
yeah.
sweatshirts are needed. Things
We
like
have
that.
we have a little thing in our coat closet that
Yeah.
has hats, gloves, actually even scarves.
The other thing about the weather is you are along the coast of South Carolina. In the wintertime, starting June 1st, they start using the H word.
No, not in the winter.
I'm
In
sorry,
the summer.
summertime. In the summertime. Where'd that come from?
I don't
In
know.
the summertime, starting June 1st through the end of November, it's hurricane season. Not a big deal. Unless there's a big giant one coming right at you, you're probably going to be okay.
Yeah,
But you just pay attention. You just
pay
be
attention.
aware.
Be aware.
Follow the tracks.
Yeah, don't fall into the sky is falling. You're all gonna die because this hurricane's gonna hit you thing. Just
We've
use your best judgment.
we've we've been here almost 3 years now, 2.5 in this house. We've had several hurricanes. We've had
I've been 3 of them.
we've had one that sat on the coast and dumped 20 plus inches of rain on our house, which
it
it was a good test of the drainage
was a good
system.
test of the drainage system.
So the
because
water
we got
drained
nothing.
away nicely.
And they have the whole lagoon system that is
Right.
built so
to prevent flooding.
To prevent flooding. So
The second part of nature
yes,
is we are in what's called the low country of South Carolina, and there is nature here.
there is nature. Specifically,
And you've seen the videos of it. One of my favorite things about the nature here are the alligators. There are alligators here. They are wild. They are
it's
hungry.
Yeah, it's not like there's somebody's pet alligator. It's,
Right.
and
It's very simple. You treat them like you would anything else that is in nature. I like to use the bumblebee or hornet or wasp analogy. Leave them alone. If you leave them alone, they're going to leave you alone, and you guys can all live together. Don't feed them.
do not feed.
That's the biggest thing, because that gets them very used to you being around them and giving them food. And when you don't have food, guess who becomes food?
Yeah.
Or
So-
your neighbors become food.
Yeah.
Or your neighbor's dog becomes food.
People freak out about them.
Yeah, there's nothing to worry about with the alligators.
If you just leave
Leave
them
them
alone.
alone. Leave 'em alone. But there's other wildlife too.
There's snakes.
There's snakes.
There are both poisonous and non-poisonous.
So maybe do a little snake checking research. What does a poisonous snake look like?
Yeah.
Typically, like diamonds and diamond heads are bad.
And there's that thing about the rule about the colors.
Yeah, the
which I
colors,
always forget.
brightly colored snakes are usually okay.
We
but-
have
but-
anoles.
Yeah,
Anoles.
anole.
I-
They're
I-
little lizards.
Yeah, they're cute little lizards.
Cute little lizards.
Actually, there's bright green ones and there's dark. They're not. I don't know if they're dark green or brown ones. I actually did learn there is a difference between them. The brown ones, the dark ones, are like more of an invasive species. They moved up here from Florida.
Okay. Yeah.
But we have one that's on the lanai all the
But-
time, and he
but-
hops around the plants. They eat insects.
But you leave them alone.
You leave them alone.
Snakes.
The snakes,
leave them alone.
armadillos.
There's
deer, possum.
Yep, we've seen possum. There's raccoons, of course. So it's you live among nature, and it's actually great. It's very nice.
Oh, and sharks too.
Yeah.
If you go to the beach, there's sharks too. So,
Don't worry about the sharks.
But again, if you leave them alone,
Leave them
they'll
alone.
leave you alone.
You'll be fine.
So,
All right. The next thing, wasn't sure what to call it. I called it pack your patience. I don't have much.
no, he just
It's not a virtue I've learned. I try, usually fail. but it is an active community, and so what that also means is there's going to be people that are out walking, and bicycling, and riding in golf carts that don't always go the speed, aren't able to go the speed limit. There's a lot of people doing home improvements. So by home improvements, they might be having work done on their lanai or landscaping, any type of third party coming in to do a home improvement, and they can't just park. I mean, they have to park in the street.
Yeah,
and
and our streets are not like super
yeah,
wide.
yeah, it's not a wide street; it's a residential street.
So sometimes you're trying to go somewhere, and there's
car,
walkers on one side,
yeah.
walkers on the other side, a car parked, and
it's around a corner.
Yeah.
So
it's
just
you
have to be patient.
You have to be patient with it.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, and I mean, the community is also celebrating 30 years, so, you also have to think about the people who were 55 when they moved in 30 years ago, who are a little elderly now, and, it's we're all going to be like that someday too, so you just
do your best. And I mean, the fact that people are out walking and trying to
Which
be healthy,
is
a lot of dog walking, there's a lot of dogs that live
Yeah.
here, so the dogs need to get walked.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So along the Pack Your Patience line is you will have, the Sun City is run by an HOA, a homeowners association.
And there's a boatload of community rules. Which
some are followed, some are
some
not.
people follow,
Who
some
knows?
don't,
Who knows? But part of HOA is if you want to have anything done outside your house, you have to get permission.
Approval.
Approval.
Yeah.
So it's called modifications. And that process can be a challenge. You have to pack your patience and try to work with them and paint a smile on your face and say, okay, here's the information that you should already know about my house. But
Because I
provide
told
for
you 15 times already. But
so we've experienced some of that, and
yeah,
some people have had better luck. Some people haven't. You just have to do your best.
it's just
Yeah, you're dealing with an HOA. There's modifications. There's like stuff like, well, I just want to pull the plants out in front of my house and replace them. You can't really
just do that.
Yeah, you need to get all that kind of stuff approved. So
well, unless you look at the rules, and of course there's a list of approved plants. So
yes.
if you're just replacing them with those plants, but then there's also people who just don't understand that those rules exist and they're not supposed to do it, and then get annoyed because
So there you go. That's that.
But yeah, and just along those lines too, is before you move in. Now, I know I am probably in a minority of, I looked at the rules before we moved in to see, it's like, oh, okay, well, you're not supposed to overnight park on the street, or you're not supposed to park your RV in your driveway, or, on the street, or,
walk around your backyard with your shirt off.
Yeah, you're not supposed to walk around, well, men are not supposed to walk around shirtless. It's like there's just a whole ton of rules, which I know sometimes some of them sound silly, but, you figure something happened somewhere along the lines, and that's why they're in that rule book now.
Tim, put your shirt on.
It's just, So it's, if you believe you might have issues abiding by the rules, you might want to have a look at them before you decide to move in.
Might not be the place for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. Is that okay?
Fine by me, babe.
Okay.
All right. Is this our last one?
This is pretty much
last little bit.
Last chapter.
So, last chapter. So, Sun City has been here, as Andrea mentioned, for 30 years. And it has grown over those 30 years. I always forget the exact number, or it's not an exact number because it gets bigger every month. But the number of people that live here is...
I mean, it's huge.
Multiple thousands.
It really is like its own city.
It's 18 to 20,000 people or so, I believe.
I mean...
but Sun City started on what's called the south side. So if you look at a map, you have Interstate 95 kind of going up and down the coast. And there's this US 278 that goes to Hilton Head Island. Well, the south side is where Sun City started.
Yes, so it is south of 278.
South of 278. And then we call the north side what's north of 278. That's where we live.
Yes.
But our our neighborhood
our
was
neighborhood
the
was
last,
the last
on the north
one
side.
on the north side.
So they decided to expand west.
Yes. So again, if you look at that map and you see Argent
it looks like
Boulevard,
there's a triangle.
which goes off of 278,
Yeah.
there is across Argent on the
West
side because it's closer to 95.
Yes.
So that's the west side.
And
they're building houses there that
Yeah,
have
dozens of
been for
communities. Yeah.
a while.
there's
and
going to be a whole amenity center there.
Yeah.
Swimming pool.
But I also heard they just bought more land over there.
And now they're buying
So-
more land. And I don't think that's going to stop. I
Yeah,
just think they're
I
going to
know.
continue
It's
to
just
grow
they're
and
gonna-
grow
yeah.
and grow.
So
that kind of goes
it's-
back to pack your patience, which I know we talked about a little bit, but because it
Yeah.
is such a growing community, you're going to need to
Yeah.
understand that you share the amenities with everybody.
with everybody, yeah.
With everybody, so
Yeah.
and
And-
it's fine. It all works
Yeah.
out. But
Yeah.
it's fine. But it's a growing community. We're thinking about doing a future video drop here of taking a look at the west side.
Yeah.
They built a nice golf cart, pedestrian, bicycle bridge over the busy Argent Road. Oh, it's a beautiful bridge.
It's
big,
gorgeous.
big, beautiful bridge.
It's only a little sarcasm there. But just in general, not only is Sun City growing, but the whole entire Bluffton, Soco, Loco
Yes.
is growing.
Yeah,
They're
it's
putting a
way more than
Buc-ee's.
just-
They're
yes.
putting a Buc-ee's on the corner, and there's now a new.
Buc-ee's is going to appear out
There's
on
now a
270
new
or
like
95.
housing development with like 14,000 homes they're going to be built. So I mean, this entire area is
Yeah.
growing.
So it goes back
you
to
also,
your patience.
you
Traffic
also
is going to
need
be
patience
harder,
driving to 95
tougher.
or you know. So
So that's all part of the growing community, and because it's
Yes.
such a large
huge
community,
community.
we recommend getting a golf cart.
Yes, it is a golf cart community. So, in addition to, you have your car, but a golf cart, highly recommended. Best story ever is before we were moving here, we were, budgeting everything out. And I'm like, okay, well, we're going to buy a golf cart. He
We don't.
says, we don't need a golf cart.
What do you need a golf cart for?
We don't need a golf cart.
We have
We'll
a
have
car.
a car. I'm like, no, dude, there's all these places you can go on your golf cart. We don't need a golf cart. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to budget money for a golf cart, and it'll be my golf cart, and I'm just going to drive it all over the place. So, who?
This guy.
That guy right there, he got in, as soon as we got here, he realized the beauty of a golf
The
cart.
golf cart is great.
So he actually ended up doing the shopping for it, and I had to pick out the color though. And he actually drives it more than I do.
Yeah, for sure.
So I just think that's so funny. He was just dead
Yeah.
set against the golf cart, but
It's a large area to traverse. Like if I'm going to the softball field, it's something like 3 or 4
it's
miles
3 or 4
one way.
miles, yeah.
The cool thing about the golf cart is there are areas where you can take it outside of the community, and so we can go outside of the gates and go to
The grocery
store, drugstore, bank,
Wendy's.
Wendy's. There's a
Starbucks.
Cracker Barrel. There's
But
doctors.
there's
things like that. So you don't-
there's a
yeah.
certain area you can go, but I mean seriously, it's
Yeah,
the
get a golf cart.
until I started working and actually working outside the home and needed to use the car. We were filling up the gas tank on our car like once a month because we just use the golf cart everywhere, and that's you plug it in, it's in your
Yeah.
electric bill.
It's
So-
a little harder if the weather's inclement.
Yeah,
You have to deal with that once in a while.
but you could get those things put around it.
And then there's a future video coming out around electric bikes. So there may or may not be electric bikes happening here as well, which are pretty cool, I'm told.
Yes.
All right. So there you go. Things you needed to know before moving into Sun City.
Yeah. Or when you first moved in.
Or when you first move in. Just
Or,
get
know.
yourself ready. Be prepared.
Be prepared.
And now you know.
And knowing
Is just enough.
half the battle. Half the battle. You all know that.
My ear itches. Hey!
Hi.
Long time no talk.
I know. It's been forever.
It's been forever. So there you have it. Camera adjustment. Oh,
See, you know that shows you.
yeah, I have to turn it
Level.
off. So 25 seconds of nothing.
I know, it's
Good job.
awesome.
I'll
Yeah.
cut it. I'll cut all that out.
Sure you will. All right.
All right.
Anyway,
So things to be prepared for, things you need to know
things to think about.
when considering Sun City.
Yep.
Hopefully that was a little educational.
Yep.
You can always reach out to us in the comments or send us a message somehow,
Yeah.
and we'll be glad to help.
Yep.
But one thing you will get from us is no sugarcoating.
Yep.
We are not
I'm
paid
not a-
spokespeople
I am
for
not a sugarcoater.
for
Yeah.
anything actually. So,
No, we're not a paid spokesman for anything.
So by the way, there's Andrew's lovely
There's my garden.
her garden, which is another cool thing
Yes.
about Sun City.
Yeah.
The weather
The weather.
allows for nice gardens.
Yes.
So
Anyway.
so there you have it. I don't know. I think it's really cool living here. I like it a lot.
I like it most of the time.
So we'll give it 4.99 paws.
There you go.
I'm not doing 4.99. I'm sorry.
Can I do
3.97?
4.97?
We do 4 paws. 3.99.
Okay, whatever.
There's a lot of math,
Yeah.
But-
It's solar peanut butter.
but there you have it.
All right.
All
And
right.
you know what we say?
What do we say?
We say
We'll see you down the road.